Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome back to Red 5 Reviews. It is the end of August, so as promised, here is my review for the Dark Lord trilogy. We're going to be starting off with book 1 in the trilogy, Star Wars Labyrinth of Evil, written by New York Times bestselling author James Luceno. Now, this book was originally published in 2005 by Del Rey, and this will be a spoiler-free review, but before I give you guys my overall thoughts, here is a brief summary. The book starts off on Cato Nemoidia. Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi are attempting to apprehend separatist Newt Gunray, but of course he does escape, but he does leave behind a Mechno chair that consists of messages that trace back to Darth Sidious, giving the Jedi their first bit of evidence that the Lord of the Sith actually exists. Anakin and Obi-Wan spend quite a bit of the story tracing the chair back to its origins, but meanwhile, Darth Sidious, as well as his apprentice Darth Tyrannus, aka Count Dooku, and General Grievous put their plans into motion for both the Republic as well as Anakin Skywalker. And now for my thoughts. I've always been a little hesitant to read this book. I've always really liked the cover, which I'll discuss in just a minute, but for some reason, I just wasn't in a hurry to read this book. Well, after reading it, I'm now currently wondering why I didn't start sooner. This book was great. James Luceno has yet to disappoint me with his Star Wars writing. Granted, I haven't read all of his Star Wars books yet, but so far he's exceeded all of my expectations. The story is pretty engaging, it gets pretty intense on occasion, and I like how it wastes no time connecting to the events of Revenge of the Sith. I loved all of the connections to Episode 3 and thought it flowed into the movie very well. The pacing keeps you on your toes and kept me invested throughout the story. Now, I'm not saying there wasn't a slow moment here and there, but it didn't dwell on it and kept the story moving at a decent pace. But real quick, let's talk about the front cover. I love the artwork. I like how it's also foreshadowing in a way, as we know that Anakin's descent into the dark side will lead him to become another powerful cyborg-like being just like General Grievous. Speaking of which, there were a couple of action scenes with Grievous that I really enjoyed, and Luceno wrote those scenes very well, making him out to be the cybernetic monstrosity that he is. I won't say much, but we read just how the Jedi are barely even a match for him, as the book tells how some of the Jedi that come across Grievous are either impaled, decapitated, or they just run away from him in fear. It kind of made me feel like I was watching his fight scene with the Jedi from the Tartakovsky Clone Wars show. This book also focuses more on Anakin and Obi-Wan's friendship. We see them make jokes here and there or things of that nature, and I liked reading more of their friendship, especially since we don't see it much in the films, even when we know that later Kenobi claims that they were brothers. And we even read some of Kenobi's suspicion of Anakin and Padme, but I won't spoil anything more on that. I like that we got more time with Count Dooku and Darth Sidious in this book, and there were a couple of hints that Sidious dropped regarding Dooku's future and Anakin's involvement with it, and I couldn't help but chuckle because we all know what's about to happen. This book also answered a question I've had regarding Grievous's knowledge of Darth Sidious's identity. No spoilers here, but all I'll say is that even though it's not directly stated, it is heavily implied, and I liked how an interaction between Grievous and Palpatine was written. I honestly don't have any negatives for this book. This is a very solid read and definitely on point. The cover claims it's a must-read prequel to Episode 3, and I think that's every cent to the word. I'm going to give Labyrinth of Evil by James Luceno 5 stars. I definitely recommend you guys check this book out if you haven't already. And if you have, let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below, but please keep them spoiler-free as much as possible. Thanks so much for checking out this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up and comment your thoughts below. And if you're new, then please consider hitting that subscribe button if you're enjoying my content and would like to be kept updated after I post a new video. Be sure to stay tuned for my next review in the Dark Lord trilogy, which is the novelization to The Revenge of the Sith. I'll have that review posted soon, but until then, this is Red 5, standing by.